got the email to know, Kim's not gonna be here, she's one of
Yeah.
see Fox here. Not our, but do it, Don was here.
Take one.
Okay, guys, we're about 6:03. I'll call the March 17th meeting of the Jasper County Council to order. First thing we'll do is rise and do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, Councilman Mish, want to have something to,
Yeah, I just want to take a minute, kind of acknowledge the tornado and the storms we had up the north end of the county. And a lot of folks affected. My heart goes out to them, and just thankful we had no loss of life. I just want to say I was proud of our county response. Had an excellent turnout for cleanup on Sunday with a countywide effort. So a lot of local businesses, our EMS, our sheriff, utilities, Von Excavating had a big turnout to help. NIPSCO was there with a lot of people and some help, and really a lot of citizens. I don't know how many people showed up. There's several dozen, and had a lot of work that got done. There's a lot more work to do. I think there will be more calls for cleanup needs. And if you know of folks or if you are affected, there are still some resources available. So reach out to Wheatfield Town Hall, commissioners, councilmen, we'll get somebody pointed in the right direction. EMA, Karen did a nice job. So just want to make mention of that. So,
and if, I think everybody's seen that the governor did declare disaster for Newton, Jasper, and Stark counties. So that'll assist us to get reimbursement on some expenses and stuff like that and help the people with the losses best we can. So, all right. Next up, minutes of the February 17th meeting. Okay, any additions or corrections to those minutes is sent out? Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Paul moved.
I'll second.
Okay, Jason seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Next up is our special meeting on March the 4th. We had up at the courthouse, had one thing on the agenda, to get the ambulance money appropriated so that could be handled. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, Jake,
Second.
Brian seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved. Next up, Sheriff Williamson and Chief Napier. And we got Chief up coming up, so.
Everybody, if they have anything new to talk about tonight,
Push and hold it for a second, it'll light up.
we don't really have anything new to bring to the table tonight. Only thing that we have is our last meeting, we did discuss some upgrades that we need to do to some of our intercom equipment. I know the sheriff had passed out some 4 different phases through Securitas Technologies. And he just wanted to remind you guys that is something that's upcoming and that needs to be done relatively quickly. We got to get that phase 1 in before we could even start working on phase 2. So he just didn't know if you guys had an update on that or if there's anything else that we need to prepare for that.
Since our last meeting of any thoughts or anything on the extending the pension to 25-year, any discussion or any new input on that?
No, only update on that is the money that was going to be getting transferred through Baird. All those transfers are in the works right now. That money is being moved. Hasn't quite landed yet, not that we've been told anyhow, but all that did take place.
As a reminder, that would, a lump payment this year to get us up to, fully funded on their pension plan. Our other discussion was to bumping it out to 25 years for the officers so that they could, we could retain them a little longer and make use of their expertise for a few more years. So we probably need to keep on top of that. I know that it affects an officer or two that's out there right now. So I talked to the sheriff on that after the last meeting, and we need to probably keep on top of that.
Do they have,
Agreed.
do they have figures from the end of 25, like what the performance was?
I don't-
What the impact might be?
I don't have those figures with me tonight. No, I don't. I thought Sheriff presented them. Did he present them at the last meeting?
No.
I don't recall if he did or not.
So if you could get them or.
We could get those for you.
Email them.
Yep, we could email them to you.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
We'll see if there's any way to put some, maybe put it on the agenda for our April meeting. Sound good? Okay. All right. Anything else for the chief?
All right. So I like
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. Mhm. Coroner Andrew Boersma. Get it.
This is just a little reading material for you guys to take home, and we'll discuss this after I present this throughout to the county commissioners. Some things that we've talked about implementing and the things that's going to have to change. We are still short-handed some people due to the stuff with Stace was working on Pickering from the insurance side of it. There's some going through some of the process that NIPSCO presented with the documentation that they have with the influx of people moving in, things so on. I want you to read this and then we'll discuss it in the future in the next few meetings. It's important. It's got some very good information in there about our benefits and our improvements, our current situations and where we're at. It'll just give you guys some reading material, and we can sit down and begin to discuss the issues at hand as we move forward with expansions and things that we need to do over the next year or so. So that's basically all I have. We're still, of course, I text you guys all as we get cases in, and the county ended up with 101 coroner's cases, 243 cases of death were registered in the state of in Jasper County from the state numbers that we get, and just information that you guys are going to have to need as we get down more looking towards larger facility and probably some more full-time people as we go forward to handle the caseload as it comes in. So that's all I have, just to give you that, and we'll go and look at this and move forward.
Andy, is there precedent for this policy review that you want to implement in this county throughout the state?
It's a preference.
Are there other counties doing it?
Well, yeah, because what it is some of the things that goes on is the law gives us the latitude to a certain point and it tells us what we must and shall do, or what we shall do. And then it gives it the leeway of the coroner to look at the other things. And we've been seeing a lot of deaths that have been not being right here in the county, but they've been shipped out. You know, they'll come in by ambulance, they're viable enough to ship out, and then they don't make it in the other. And then that comes back to us as either if it's somebody under a certain age, it comes back to our child review team. If it's over a certain age, it still comes to a fact of what we have to report to the state as far as that death emanating from this county and going up into Lake County or into Tippecanoe County. And then we still have the reports to file. And so we're trying to piece together a thought process of how we can safely look at the deaths that occur, and are they being mandated? Or is it a death that we just need to look at as it's referred to us from the ER or referred to us from the floor or referred to us from another county? So it's just, it's going to be a learning phase because some of the, I don't know if you've been to the hospital lately, but none of the hospitals have doctors that live in town anymore. They have hospitalists that come in and out, and some of the ER doctors fly in and fly out. So those cases wind up on our table, whether or not, because it's not the attending physician. Even though he is a physician in the emergency room, he's not your attending physician. He's attending to you at that emergency moment. And they generally are not very willing to sign death certificates. So it does wind up back to us. And then we have to do the investigation and find out. So some of the other counties, we've talked about how we're going to implement this and what their thoughts are. And so we're just trying to weed our way through the thought process to satisfy the state.
But you don't know of any other counties that have a similar policy to this?
We're all talking about that in June, at the June meeting, when we meet as the coroners, there are counties to the south of us that every death goes through the coroner's office. And so I want to sit down in June when we have the meeting in June, see what their thought processes are. How did they do it? What prompted them to do it? Why did they do it? And then I'll have a better handle on it. But I wanted to give you guys a little heads up that there are 3 days in June when I'm going to the coroners conference, that there's going to be some real critical thinking going on and see how other counties, and then we'll have maybe a name and of the counties that are doing it and their population, and see what prompted it.
If a death happens in the county now, that maybe it's in a hospital or whatever, is that what's taking place as you're kind of talking about? Those are already, the doctors who are attending to it are writing off and what the cause is. It's not coming to you. It's already decided. That's what you'd like to take over?
Well, not so much take it over, just making sure that what's happening, if they're presented at the emergency room, for instance, and they come in under, maybe they're asystole, the heart's not beating properly or whatever, the doctor may write that off. But if there's an extenuating circumstances that leads back to something genetic that needs to be tested for, the younger generation, we don't want that to get missed. And so the doctor may automatically be fine with writing the death certificate out, but we want to make sure that everything is covered and nothing's missed. Not saying that they are missing it, but there's issues at hand with drug relations and things like that we don't want to be missed, and we don't want anything genetic to be missed as well.
So in the case of one of our elderly residents in a care facility in the county, you're saying that you would investigate that death or would go to the coroner's office?
They would call it to us. We've had a couple where somebody's had an incident there, and then they'll call us and we have to go and investigate it, even though maybe the person had a DNR. But if they was to fall out of bed or stumble down the hallway, even though the DNR is there, it still has to be looked at if that was an accident or not.
So are you, correct me if I'm wrong, but did I understand if an incident or somebody originates from here in Jasper County, they take them to Lafayette? It's a Jasper County resident, they pass away down there, does that come back to us?
That comes back to me on a phone call, and then we discuss the fact whether or not we're willing to pay for an autopsy or what investigation has to be done. As we had a phone call last month that an incident occurred and they brought it back to me. And it ended up, wasn't ours. It was actually, we were going to get billed for the autopsy and the investigation, which they have the right to do under law. But when they called me and told me they were going to do it, I started doing the questions and digging and found out that the gentleman was actually involved in an incident and where he worked. And even though that address was what I understand, but it was actually in Newton County, but it has a Jasper County address. And so much like the dairies, a lot of that have a Fair Oaks address, but it doesn't lie inside the county.
I see.
So it comes down to a lot of digging and paperwork and filing those reports and making sure that somebody doesn't file something towards us that, it doesn't, because they don't have to send it to me. They can send it directly to the auditor. And if they just pay it, then I don't catch it, but I would like to sign a voucher or something if I'm going to pay it. Much like if a sentencing occurs in Indiana at the courtroom here in Jasper County, and that person's sentenced to life in prison, and when that person dies in prison, he may have been there 50 years. We still get the bill for it because we're the sentencing county. The sentencing county pays for that bill of investigating the autopsy and everything to that point.
So is that only the case if the crime happened in the county?
Only if it's sentenced in this county. It's
But-
like if they commit a crime in Lake County and they change the venue to here and it's sentenced here and our judges sentence them and they die in prison, we get the bill for it. Last bill I got was $5,000 just for the autopsy. That wasn't the investigation. That was just the autopsy. So I like to be able to stay on top of that and make sure that if something does happen, that I get the opportunity to meet and talk with that coroner of that county, be it whatever, before something is decided, so that if I think we need it, and it has to be a joint decision between myself and whatever county coroner it is as to what that fee will be, and we have to warrant it, and if they still want to do it, then we're stuck with the bill, but I want to know why. So just a little reading material.
I'm going to read this first sentence and I want you to clarify this.
Sure.
I am writing to inform you that the county coroner's office will begin implementing a policy to review all deaths occurring within Jasper County.
Yes.
This is with or without approval from the commissioners and the council.
Well, this is a spot in the law that allows the coroner to look at every death in the county to make sure that someone is not doing something they shouldn't be doing. It doesn't mean that we're going to implement it tomorrow. This is something that I see that, like I said, in June, when I come back from the meeting, I will have a better understanding about what everybody else is considering and what they're thinking. And if this is something that comes to fruition, then every death, that would mean last year there was 243. We did 101 of those. That would mean that we would have an additional caseload of 142 deaths and that doesn't mean that we would look at all those, because some of those may be hospice driven, and hospice has to notify us that they're supposed to let us know that they're in hospice care. Not all hospices do that. Franciscan's pretty good about letting us know, but it's just a statement that if this comes to a fruition, you guys are aware of that. And like I said, I'll know more after the meeting in June when I talk with other counties at the coroner's conference.
So you haven't implemented it yet, you're wanting.
No, this is something that we will talk about after we get done. I just want you guys to be aware that there are other places that's starting to look at this because of the staffing issues and things like that.
Andy, can you get us a statute around that piece of the law that gives you that authority? I mean, you don't have to have it.
No.
Unless you got it right now, but
Well,
you send it later.
36-2-14.
36-2-14.
And that's the entire coroner's code, and it lists in there what we shall do and then what we
Okay.
open to us to do.
I just want to look at it a little bit, research it.
No, that's fine.
Anything, anything else for Andy?
So is there other counties considering this or what's their field?
This is what, there's been some counties that have already implemented it, but I don't know all of them. And I want to personally talk to that coroner when we get to the conference and say, you've implemented this. What implementations caused this? What happened that you guys decided to do this? Has it been beneficial? What did you exclude? Did you exclude anything? And find out before we open Pandora's box. And again, it may be, with a lot of this all started with when the IPEP thing came out and Stace and I talked and I had half my staff resign or go on deferred right now until we kind of figured this out. And again, that's going to take place probably in June when we all get to the state level.
So explain the IPAP thing you're referring to.
IPEP, there was a meeting at the jail and IPEP came up and we were under the assumption that if a deputy coroner was injured, that the workman's comp will cover that, and they will. But what happens is they're only covered up to the previous 12 months of earnings that they made as a deputy coroner. So if somebody makes 2 calls and makes $500, they're only going to get a portion of that $500 for their. And then the next thing was when we questioned our deputies, would your company that you work for, one is a nurse practitioner, the other one works for JM Electric, he's a paramedic and a safety man, would they allow them to come back to work with a slight injury or whatever? And after we got our consensus back from those individuals, it was no. They couldn't return to their normal vocation where they make their living. And so they asked to be put on the inactive list until we could find out what's going to happen.
That would all be determined by what their injury actually was, obviously.
Right.
I mean, in my case, if a guy couldn't drive, that's going to be the case, but it just depends on what that injury is, obviously.
Right. And it depends on the owner or the corporation if they will allow somebody who was moonlighting and got hurt and was on disability for a brief time, would they allow them to do their usual vocation?
So I guess from what I recall of our conversation when you called me a few weeks ago about this, I guess I understood that you said that it used to be covered that way, but now.
Well, we had thought it was covered that way, and it wasn't until the IPEP meeting that it got more in-depthly explained. And then that's when Stace started doing some work and looking into it. And then he wrote the letter that I gave to the commissioners that explained what he found and what he understood it to be. And then that's when we put pardon?
They have it.
Okay. And I think you guys have a copy of that also. So.
Okay. Well, I guess my question is it looks like this is in correlation with that, because at that time you wanted to try to move your coroner's department to full time because of that. And now you want to do this. And it looks like that's the reason you want to do this is because of that.
Well, it's all a driving force. If we have an increase in cases that we have to investigate, I don't have the staff or the manpower to investigate that. And we see more cases coming phoned to us from the health facilities that question that. Now, I don't know if it's a policy with Franciscan, but Franciscan has called us a lot in the last 3 months with deaths on the floor and wanting, can we release it to the doctor? Do they have a DNR? Did they fall? Was there an incident? I have to ask those questions. And then if the doctor's willing to sign it, okay, fine. Leads me to wonder what's going on in other counties that have the same healthcare system. Is it mandatory that they call us? Are they just doing it here? And so led me to call and do some questions with other coroners, and some of them have implemented certain criteria beyond their normal statutory criteria, which is violence if you have you don't have a doctor, then even if you show up at the ER and you don't have a family physician, that has to get kicked to us because you don't have an attending physician tending to your livelihood. So again, it's going to be a broad scope. And until we find out more, I just wanted you guys to have something in your hands. And I did this after talking to Eric Beaver, and he said, write something up and get it in their hands so that they have something to hold on to. I said, okay. So I worked on this over the weekend after talking to him. And
Okay, so you said in case there is an increased workload, you're going to be shorthanded. So this looks like you're trying to create an increased workload, I guess is what this looks like now.
well, I'm
Without
not trying to
being-
create it. I'm trying to be forward thinking that if this does come forth in the next couple of years or next year or whatever, 50 years from now, where are we going to be? You know, I mean, we're talking about what's happening. The North End is fixing to explode with industry. That means more people. We need to be ahead of the game. I don't want to be trying to play catch up. I'd rather be more looking to the future, that we're prepared for what's coming rather than something come and then we're scratching our head. I don't have but 2 years left, 2 years and a few months. But I would like to leave this better than I found it. And we've increased a lot in the last 27 years. And we've done a lot in the last 27 years, but I think there's more to be done. And if we are at a point to where we're looking at the county growing in the magnitude that it looks like it may grow, I want to make sure that the county's prepared for it and not lagging behind. 1970 something, there was 5 sheriff's deputies on the road. 1976, 77. Now how many do we have? 25, including the sheriff. And so I want to make sure that we're in the ballpark of covering the people that built this place, and we're there for them to take care of it.
I get growing as you need to grow, but not growing just in case we're going to grow. You know, I mean, if you understand what I'm getting at. I guess.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I also look at when I started here 27 years ago, if we had 10 corners cases in 1 year, that was a lot.
Well, obviously, population has grown a lot in that time period too, I'm sure.
And so, you know, I mean, I look at the fact that, and if we had 10 cases back then, we were busy. I mean, there was 2 of us that handled 10 cases. And basically right now there's been 3 of us handling close to 100. And so it's there, but how do we regulate it? How do we build for it? Because I can see that it's only going to get worse.
Sign off.
So, all right. Anything else? You know, you got my cell phone. Call me.
Do you have an additional, you want to address this additional while you're up here? Coming up.
Yeah, there's an additional,
Oh, no.
that is for the, since the sheriff has, kind of turned over the office pretty much to us, we took over the phone bill, and we had always had $1,200 just in the line item to cover cell phone and fax machine. But now we're taking that over to that office, and the internet and everything is taxed in there. So I'd like to get that additional so that we can continue to pay the internet and the phone bill there at the annex, and that won't go, the sheriff won't get the bill. We get the bill.
Andy, will people still be able to get reports
Yeah.
as annex?
Yes, as long as the sheriff's office doesn't care. When this next year, we're going to move the young lady that works part-time for me and part-time for him, we're going to put that money into one budget so that we can get her, and she'll still be able to get reports and turn them over, golf cart permits, and anything that she does for the sheriff today, she'll continue to do for the sheriff tomorrow.
Thank you, because as you know, as many people, if they work up north, it's hard to get off work and get to Rensselaer, the courthouse,
Right.
to take care of your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Andy. Mhm. Next up, we got Auditor Boersma with the annual financial report, which I've got here.
Yeah, got it all printed out and everything else and turned in a couple weeks in advance, and
Mhm.
I need your signature on it, like
So do we need a motion that we've received it and
I
sign off on it?
probably could.
It's it's a spot there where the commissioners will also be signing off on it.
Yeah, for rain at the next meeting.
So
Oh,
that,
Kind of motion do you need on that?
just that we received it and it's,
Just
available.
acknowledge it in the minutes.
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I make a motion that we acknowledge that we received the annual financial report.
Okay.
I'll support that acknowledgement.
Okay, Paul. Okay, any other discussion on it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. I'll sign that off. We'll be done with it.
It's a lot thinner than last year.
Mhm.
It didn't want quite as much, but enough.
Okay, so I got that done. All right. Probation, Mike Spangler, the peer recovery coach opium fund request. Mhm. That's,
Good evening.
hello.
Hello.
Mhm.
I'm Kim Denton from Valley Oaks. Mike's not here, but this is Kathy, as you know. Do you have any questions for us?
We appreciate your presentation last meeting.
Yeah.
And we've got it on the agenda there for additionals. Any questions for him? It's through Valley Oaks.
I just
and it
want to
is-
say-
Mhm.
You've got a great story, I know, and we're proud of you for what you're doing,
Mhm.
Oh,
what you're doing for this
Yeah.
county. All right, we need more of that. So
Mhm.
I don't know your story, but I'm sure it's a great story. I'm just so proud of what you've done and what you're doing with your life. So thank you for your work.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I would have to agree.
Yep. We appreciate
They
it.
hit the ground running. This program is blowing up very, very quickly. We've already talked about like how soon before we have to hire someone else. We're having conversations with Newton County, so that is happening. The tornadoes and other scheduling conflicts have occurred that have delayed those conversations a little bit. But I know that Autumn was in Newton County today for commissioners meeting. She has appointments set up to meet with probation. She talked to Sheriff Cochran today. So this is going to be good stuff for Jasper County.
Mhm.
Addiction's a big problem. Kathy's going to make a huge impact.
We do appreciate it. And this will be money well spent from the opioid fund.
Yeah.
So we will address it shortly here.
Okay.
So thank you very
Thank
much. The next up was on the agenda was Recorder Kim Groves. She's not going to be able to be here this evening, so we'll consider that at a future meeting.
Should I say something now? Or wait?
That's up to you. I don't know if you want officially a table or let her put it on the agenda next time.
She withdrew, so
Yeah.
She withdrew it, so I think we're okay to do that.
You know, a lot that's coming up about stipends now, for various things. And obviously we try to give fair wages and we appreciate the folks who work for the county and what they do. I like maybe us to start to have a conversation for, maybe addressing an amount per after hours meetings that we have, where that would come about by being mandated meetings by us. Because we can't give bonuses, and that's for the private sector. So I wonder if that's a conversation we should have instead. That way we know you're at the meeting, you have to be at the meeting, you know, because that's after hours that you would have from 8 to 4. I just want to throw that out now as opposed to just how many other folks are going to come in wanting stipends as well. I don't know. So those were my thoughts. Because personally, you know, Cynthia has to be here and she gets comp time. I wish we could do that for everybody if that were the case, but if we're gonna do it, then I would prefer it per meeting, and here's the set amount that you'll get for that we mandate.
Well, I think the statute's clear. I mean, it says the auditor and clerk, the council has the ability to, if we so choose, to give them a stipend. It does not name any other elected office as far as stipend goes.
Yeah.
If I read the statute right?
On that statute, there is what Recorder Kim's going to ask about is another stipend that is in another statute on the Recorder Perpetuation Fund there. So that would be another one that would be available in statute, but none of them say you have to give it. So, but we'll need to look at that at budget time. And as I mentioned to Paul earlier, when we had a discussion, the elected officials, comp time doesn't come into play there because they're hired to do it. They're elected to do a job and they don't have to punch time clock. So comp time doesn't really come into effect on that. But we definitely want to take care of the non-elected officials in those jobs, and we will look at all that.
So do they get comp time? Do you get comp time?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that's the way I understood
Right.
that, was that I did get comp time.
Right.
Okay.
And it's, it's each elected office is a little different, but we're trying to go by statute as far as ones we can consider and ones we can't. And so we don't break any Indiana code. But all right, we're going to move on to additional appropriations. County General, we got three items there out of the commissioner's budget for office supplies, a salary of 55,000 for human resource officer, and then also in the commissioner's line is the Valley Oaks 6858, which we've got a reference letter of that one. Hang on just a second. From Valley Oaks Health, we get an estimated amount determined by the DLGF for the 26 budget was 406,858. We only appropriated 400,000. This is a figure that DLGF comes up and says that we, by our population and where we're at, is what they're due. So we need a additional of $6,858 to bring it up to what those figures from the DLGF sent us. And then also under County General was the coroner's 2,500 for the telephone and internet service. So how do you want to approach that? Do all
What was
County
the
General
10,000
together?
again? The office supplies? What was that?
So office
Oh,
supplies
okay.
to the HR person.
Okay.
The first two
Okay.
is
Yeah.
the
Yep.
bringing the human resource office out here
Mhm.
for the 10,000 for those supplies and operating the office, and then the human resources, the 55,000. Anything you need to add to that, Reen?
No, I think we may have aimed a little high on that, but that in case we as commissioners might need supplies or something, we'll draw it out of that since that's in our budget. But just wanted to touch on that topic. Thank you again. Sarah Van Drunen has been getting started. She started with us March 1st and she's hit the ground running and doing, I think, an excellent job. She's going to be making her rounds, getting in contact with all the offices. I think she had a good experience out at the jail today, had a good chance to talk with Chief Brandon. And Diana's been helping her to get the resources she needs. She's been talking with our benefits advisor, Darn Carlos, and their staff, getting up to speed on all of that. And we currently also have her doing some research, got a request from Jack, Engineer Jack, to look into what other counties are doing as far as Title VI and ADA compliance. So we're not sure we're going to load that on her, but I'm asking her to do some research from other counties. There's a support group, email support group from other county HRs that she's going to do some checking with to see how other counties are handling some of that. So if you haven't had a chance to get a meet her, make sure you do. You can contact her by way of email. Her office is here, but it's by appointment only. So that way we minimize the disruption to the health department as well. So anyway, appreciate that. Thank you for giving us assistance. And did I miss anything there, Craig? Or Ryan, anything that you're, okay. All right, very good. I got the thumbs up. So
All right.
thank you,
That's-
council.
We do
appreciate
have a
that.
copy of the contract that they offer employment, and I think we're great that we've got somebody back in that position. So
Put them all in one.
all is one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Unless anyone has,
Motion to approve them all in one.
All right. Scott made the motion to approve all under county general. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Paul? Any other discussion? We're looking at 74,358 on the 4-line items under county general. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, next up is the EDA project solar. This would be EDA money from Dunn's Bridge 2. $155,000. That would be going to available for Kankakee Township. And they've been working with the commissioners and to get that project going and
put some bathrooms out there.
put the bathrooms in. They got about 100,000 to put towards it, roughly somewhere in that ballpark. And they've as they proceed and get their bills and as they go along, they're going to submit those to be taken care of so that we just don't roll out 155,000 to them. But this would appropriate it so it was available for them to.
We committed to this a few months back, right?
What's that?
We committed to this a few
Yeah.
months back.
Yeah.
We've talked about it in the previous meetings. Mhm. So.
There were a couple of them at the meeting we met last night and we filled in,
Mhm.
they asked if they needed to be here and I told them they
No.
did not need to come tonight since we had already talked about this.
And this is out of the EDA money from Dunn's Bridge 2, which we did get our 1.258 or whatever it was just there. So that fund is okay for right now. Any discussion on that?
Make a motion.
Okay, Scott moved,
Support.
Jake's seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. All right, next up is the construction compliance for solar pack. This money is in there. Let's see, there's a letter here on it. From Donna. Need an additional appropriation for compliance monitoring. At the end of the year, the money left in the expense line rolled back into the fund. So in order to pay the invoices, I will need the money appropriated back into the expense line, $36,118. And it would go into the, would be out of the construction compliance was what they already put in that account to come back out to cover it. Any questions on that? Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jason? Second?
I'll support.
Gary? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. All right, next up is the we've got this is a consultant's line item out of lit or income tax, emergency medical services. This is a fire study. We've received the first invoice for that fire study. There'll be some others. The total for that is what we're appropriating now would be $44,000 to be the kind of take care of all 3 or 4 invoices as they come in. This is going to be really beneficial to the discussion with how we proceed with fire coverage for the whole county and how we proceed for the future on it. Districts, territories, what's going to be the best. And we're going to come up with some ideas based out of this study that they're coming up with. Okay. So
I got the list populated and sent back to the advisor vendor. It's got all trustees and fire chiefs, and for the sake of discussion, Ryan and Steve were at that previous meeting, so I included them and they can disseminate that information to you guys. I'll do likewise for Craig and Ryan if we didn't want to. We should be reaching out to you guys.
Question I have is, what was the verdict in the General Assembly when they're talking about possibly forcing merger of certain townships? Because obviously it's pretty much how it's handled
I don't
today.
think it's been decided yet, has
Yeah,
it?
they voted on it, but there's some way of a scorecard type thing, and you gotta turn reports in and.
So we don't know as of yet from that end, but so we're getting ahead of it now.
Yeah,
Right,
Craig
right.
jumped up. I think it was the Senate version of it. that
Yeah,
was-
Paul and council, the Senate version is the one that got read. I don't know what changes happened at that point from the last reading to the governor's desk, but it was Senator Niemeyer's bill that got support and was passed. In that final reading, I watched it that day. It is a scorecard based on if the township's turning in a budget, if the township has a fire department, if the township is turning in their doing any poor assistance, all those things are, it's kind of like playing golf, right? You want the lowest score. You get to a 4, you have to merge. There's no way out of that. But in that final reading, they changed that merger year from 27 to 28.
Okay.
So they did push that back and take a little of the heat off of us, but not to stop thinking about it and planning ahead of how we're going to do this and looking at those townships as a whole, because they have to be contiguous, right? They have to touch each other to merge. So something we definitely got some time to work on, but definitely need to think about
Because it looks like it definitely will happen probably to some.
to
It's,
some degree. Yes.
Did they set up the governance structure for that? I mean, was there going to be like a trustee for the merged townships?
There would be, and it would be the way I heard it in the last one, whichever township is merging into the township, that trustee would be the one that would remain. And then the advisory board would be a combination of those two townships, right? Or multiple townships would make up that advisory until the point when the next regular election came upon. And then there would be, that cycle would take over and elect your board and your trustee. But that would get you to that point.
Thank you.
I think the House version was based basically on a population in the township more than anything, and they
Correct.
met with the other one.
So,
Yeah.
so you're saying that it could be a merger of, say, Barclay, Hanging Grove and Gillum?
And Marion, yes.
Oh, so they would all maybe merge to Marion?
If they all touched, yes, they could potentially.
But if it goes off a scorecard, I mean, you could take 3 or 4 that maybe won't
Right.
join Marion, but yet they would be combined. into
Possibly,
one?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends on where the score lands.
Mm.
And they could merge on their own if they want, right?
That's the original directive. If they find that they fall in that score of 4 and above, the law reads that they're supposed to start trying to work that out amongst themselves. And as a last resort, then it falls on the executive body to make that merge.
Better to do it yourself. Right?
Absolutely. We obviously, you guys and us both would do whatever we can to help them make that merger as best as possible. But that is the first action, is for them to do it on their own.
Who determines what the new township is called?
Would you
I don't know.
would you have to change the names, or would you just have a district? A township
Well,
district
and
or
likely,
something?
I mean, I guess upon first thought, I've never thought of that. First thought is whatever trustee staying, that township name may carry on, and that township's got bigger.
Well, because I don't want to be Marion. I'm still Barclay.
Well, I guess we can go on in succession with that stigmatism then, but
And I'm just asking, like, from the separate party situations, we've got 29 precincts in the county.
Mhm.
I wonder how that affects.
I don't know. That's a
Anything
good question.
about that?
I would venture to guess that while your townships may get larger, your precincts would stay the same. Right? The whole goal behind this is cutting down funding and reducing spend. A big share of that goal, and you're not funding or paying anybody in a precinct application as far as that. They don't draw a salary, right? They're just a voluntary precinct
But
committee.
it still kind of changes there's other.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
gonna-
When you start talking about elections, sure, there is. Yeah.
Well, it's something that I guess we need to start
we don't.
thinking about, right?
Mhm.
We need to
But
start
we did,
figuring out
as I
the
said, we did
precinct
gain
numbers.
another year on that.
I was-
So,
But we don't want to put it all to the last
No.
minute.
no, that's what I know about support.
You asked for 44,000 and actually totals up to 45,000. So they have a kind of a random just expenses here at the end, that's 6,000. This totals to 45,000.
Are you doing that with your shoes on? How'd you come up with?
Well-
Okay.
We'll just take the other 1,000 out of the commissioner's pay this year and call
I
it
mean,
good, right?
You guys can pay.
You total the top columns, it comes to 45 and it's 44. So.
I'll apologize on behalf of the commissioners.
But they wrote it.
But they wrote it. They wrote it.
So they.
I
said
hope
that-
hope their study is better than their math.
We signed
Hope
the
their
contract
study
at
is better than their
44,000,
math.
We'll get a deal.
Green already signed it, so.
I think they'll have
Yeah,
some,
it does say 44,000.
I think we'll get some really good information from that.
I think so too. Because I thought we were making disbursements of basically $11,000 4 times.
Well, there's a reporting and presentations is 6,000 and they have expenses at the end, another 6,000. So. Well, we'll do 44 tonight.
Yeah.
Green, I trust you can negotiate that.
You wanna, yeah, hey, you wanna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions on the lit emergency medical services, 44,000? Okay, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Brian?
Second.
Who's,
Give to Jason.
Jason, seconded. Brian made a motion, Jason seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're back to the opioid restricted funds for Valley Oaks, 20,000. We heard presentation last meeting and updated a while ago. Any other questions for that? This is out of their opioid restricted funds.
Mike, I'll second.
Scott moved, Brian seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. All right.
You're back on it.
We got local health maintenance trust. We got a letter referencing that. It's out of the trust. It's for going into office supplies, $1,388. Anything to add to it? No?
I'll make a motion.
No, that's just money from the state that we have and it just needed appropriated to an expenditure line. So,
Right.
Move it from the fund to a line item.
yeah.
Any questions on that? Okay, Scott moved already. And we had a second?
Second.
Ryan? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Kate.
Next up, MVH restricted. 1173, we got 650,000 stone gravel and other aggregates, paving 500,000 and chip and seal 500,000 for 1,650,000.
Hello. Good.
Hello, Ed.
Yeah, this was the 1173 that was left off our budget. So just looking for the additional appropriations. In our budget order, I'll have the money for all this. So.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Ed? You guys got a little extra work there with the tornado hitting up there.
Yeah, we got lucky. I mean, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it was bad, but compared to some other spots, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, quite a bit to do.
For our meeting, I complimented Ed and his men because I just happened to be Saturday driving down Thayer Road. I was in Newton County and I saw all our men out there at the trucks lending a hand to our neighbors. And
Yeah,
I think it's the way
yeah.
we should do things.
Absolutely. We got quite a bit bigger department that they did, and we were over there opening some roads up for them. So anytime we can help out.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Any other discussion? Was entertain a motion for the MVH restricted of 1,650,000?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Paul got the motion?
Jake.
Oh, that was Jake. Okay.
Jake got it.
Huh?
Did I get the second?
Yeah, I don't care. Paul's got the second.
I got the second.
Jake moved, Paul seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ed. Mhm.
Brian's gotten his share tonight.
It was Paul to pay.
All right, weed board, I got you penciled in next.
Just so we can keep the process moving. Thank you, Steve. I'm here. I'm Jim Martin. I'm here with the Jasper County Weed Control Board. A year ago, the commissioners instituted a new weed board policy and they printed up an ordinance and it's real nice. The attorneys put it together. Mostly all good for us and the county, hopefully. A couple of things that needed to be, that are in the ordinance that need to be addressed. by you folks is the qualifications, the duties, and the salaries of the people that we employ. I've handed out the job offer that we have put out, job description, and I think that's a good idea of what we are looking for in people. We've been interviewing people that follow those guidelines, and we think we've got a couple of good candidates coming up. Originally, we had planned to do a contract employee, but after more talk with the commissioners and the attorneys, we've come to the conclusion that's not practical in this particular instance. So what we have proposed in the employee handbook for the county, there is a part-time employee position that's available, limited 28 hours a week. And as I understand, the salary is $21.90 an hour. I believe that's right. If it's not, you guys can correct me. And
95.
oh, I'm sorry, $21.95. Thank you. I rounded it down and I was off a nickel. Thank you. So what we would like to do is, we've talked with the commissioners and we believe we're in agreement to, hire this person for the 28 hours. They'd work more or less 4 days. And then the Soil and Water Conservation District will hire this person for 1 day a week, which would get this employee up to a more or less living wage. The county again is gonna do, they would have to have a liability. They'd have the expense of the FICA taxes and of course, workers' compensation. If we're able to hire this person, if you folks approve, we'd have enough money to make it through the rest of the year without any additional appropriations. The FICA and the liability insurance would come out of the 25,000 that you folks have already appropriated. So we wouldn't need any more money. Maybe next year, but for this year, we'd be good that way. We think we've got it worked out pretty well. Of course, it'll be up to our attorney to pass judgment on it, I guess. I'm sure there might be a problem here or there, but we believe we have it worked out to that. So with that job description and things I gave you, and the idea that we would like to spend that 25,000 on this rate, this 28 hours a week at $21.95 an hour, I'd like your permission to move ahead with this.
Okay, and that 25,000's in what fund?
Well, we have our.
In your soil and water?
No, this is the weed board.
The weed.
Has its own fund.
Is that under,
Copies. This is what up in my office today.
weed board? Okay, 337.
Jim, it's listed as full-time 1-year contract right here. So you're considering this a full-time position?
I'm sorry, this was when we were considering doing the.
Okay.
I gotta get back on.
Okay, yeah.
That originally went out as the contracted employee. We were hoping to contract somebody for the full year.
Okay.
But this new position, the way we've got it set up now, is part-time employee with the county. They would have all the protections and everything of the county, but no pension, no medical insurance. So just the bare minimum of the county's expenses.
We've got we got a fund that's probably not going to be used a lot that we need to look at probably in the future, is that marijuana eradication. When we were spraying before, that's what we used it out of. And we got 66,000 sitting in there. So, we'll look at that.
Yeah, you moved that 66 for that.
Have access to use that for their operation.
Okay.
And then the other, we're gonna supply a vehicle, a sheriff's vehicle for this person, which they would use them the 4 days they're working for the county, and then they would not use it on the day they're working in the office, which that's.
Okay. All right. According to the ordinance, we need to approve that they can hire and do that.
The way it's spelled out.
Spelled out.
Motion.
Okay. Brian moved.
I'll support.
Okay, Paul seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. We got you covered.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
If I may, real quick, as some of you have been here quite some time, and those of you from Rensselaer remember Mr. Korniak, who recently passed away.
Right.
He used to be head of the department. I remember he'd come and
Mhm.
he'd have young men with him. Unique thing is with Mr. Korniak, Furman Walker, who just passed in the last year, Bob Jones, who for a long time worked at the fertilizer plant in Kersey, and Hank Gonzavelt. I believe Mr. Korniak was the last surviving member of the 1950 Wheatfield High School sectional championship team. So
Go Red Devils.
Mhm. So, yep. They, and the years we dealt with Tom on the weed board, they accomplished so much with very little funding. It was a pleasure to. It was, what they got done with that was unbelievable. And they.
He did that forever, didn't he?
He was a lot of years that he
For as
came
long
in.
as I can remember, he was in charge of the weed.
he was the guy.
Yeah, very good. So,
He's my neighbor. Everybody.
right.
Just know it's Craig.
Yep. Next up, we've got Lisa Doherty with Northwest Indiana Workforce.
Yes,
Is
hi.
that right?
Hello.
It's close. You got the most important word correct, workforce.
Workforce.
That's what we're here about. So my name is Lisa Doherty. I'm the president and CEO of the Center of Workforce Relations, which is a nonprofit entity that serves as the intermediary for all things workforce development in Northwest Indiana, including Jasper County. My goal tonight is just to make sure that you are aware of our organization, what we do in the community, and the resources that we have available. Yeah, I do have a slide deck that you have there. I'm not going to go entirely through each and every slide, but there are some things that I want to bring to your attention. Again, just so you're aware of the resources that are available to you. By the way, we are entirely funded through federal, state, and philanthropic grants. So these are resources that are available to primarily job seekers and employers. Sometimes counties, jails in particular, don't always think of themselves as an employer, but you are a larger employer in the community. My colleague, Dee Dee White, will come up in just a few minutes to talk about employer services because she oversees the team that does that. You may not know, just a bit of trivia if you don't know this, Commissioner Standish serves on the chief elected official board for workforce development. So he's representing your county. That is a statutory requirement in the federal legislation, which is Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. Currently under, what do they call it in Congress? They're revisiting that legislation and allocations, appropriations as well. So I would draw your attention to, I think it's page, it's not, I don't have page numbers. I should pay more attention to that in the future. Especially when I want to go quickly. On what is page 5, just a couple of things that I want to point out where it says data and it talks about a demographic overview. One of the things that we provide to the entire community is any labor market data. So we often talk to communities cross-sector about directionally what the data is telling us, where we might want to look for strategies around workforce development. We provide a lot of projections about jobs that are going to be declining in the future, jobs that are going to be increasing. We work very closely with economic development professionals so that we're in sync, right? You've got to have workforce development working closely with economic development so that if we don't already have the workforce that businesses you're trying to attract are looking for, we're building and preparing people. Just a quick note on that demographic overview, and this is across the region. Note that the prime working age group in Northwest Indiana, as well in Jasper, is that prime age working group is declining. So we have a challenge for a lot of employers right now. We've got a workforce that's aging. The number of people in that workforce is declining. We've had a declining birth rate for some time. So my point in all that is that we've got to look forward and be strategic about how we're preparing people and bringing more people into the labor force. Jasper County is pretty much on average, I think, with the labor force participation rate. I'm going back a page at about 62.5%. That's pretty typical state and national average, but we've got to get better at bringing more people into the workforce. There may be barriers that are preventing them from working. You've had a couple folks, talking about peer recovery and all that. Substance issues can prevent somebody from working and being in the workforce. Childcare, transportation, housing is becoming a bigger and bigger issue as a barrier. People choose to opt out of the workforce because of those barriers. So as a community, we've got to be better at identifying strategies to help them overcome that. We do have some resources available to people for a period of time. We call them supportive services to help them get through. By the way, I forgot to tell you, you might recognize us as Work One. So the Center of Workforce Innovations is contracted to staff and manage the Work One offices throughout Northwest Indiana. That's probably how you're most familiar. This labor data is a little bit different than what would typically happen in a Work One. Of course, we have job seekers coming in looking to be matched with employers. We have a business services team that Dee Dee will tell you more about, working with employers to help upskill and find talent. I would draw your attention to the adult education. We do provide some adult education services out of the Work One. We have classes. We have a bit of a nomadic format. We come and go in and out. We don't necessarily have a big brick and mortar building with the exception of Work One that we're offering classes. We try to partner with different community organizations to provide that. The Jasper Newton Community Foundation is a phenomenal partner in that way. We try to offer different formats with adult education. We're in conversations with St. Joe, looking at ways to bring, we call them IETs, integrated education training opportunities. So somebody may go into a class to get that adult basic education. And these days, there are many employers that will hire without a high school diploma. That's not a good long-term strategy from my view. People absolutely have more upward mobility when they've got that high school diploma. You've got about 1,100 people, according to the data, which always lags a bit, that don't have their diploma and they're in that prime age working group. We want to try and get them connected to the education, earn the credential. St. Joe's offering CDL training. It's a perfect opportunity for us to collaborate and build that out so that the student that finishes is already prepared for a good paying job upon completing that. Again, new strategies that make the investment of someone's time into that training more prosperous. So, Dee Dee, do you want to come up and talk a little bit?
Just ask a couple questions.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, back to the where you had the data.
Yes, sir.
The prime working age in this chart at the top, it's got the wrong ages underneath there. It's got 16 to 24 in their prime working age.
Yeah, that's
25 to
that's
54.
correct. Yeah.
But then this demographic overview, is that in Jasper County? Is this Jasper County?
This specific
Below here?
grid is
Right here? These numbers down here.
that's
60%.
probably a region overview.
Okay.
Yep.
Still concerned. We're beyond prime.
And,
Yeah,
and just one more question.
Mhm.
So what is the glaring number in our report in Jasper County that really just jumps out to you? What's the one thing or the two things that you say this compared to your other 5 counties or your other rural counties? What?
Yeah, you
Is there-
guys are actually, I mean, you're by the numbers, right? You actually are performing better than many others.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but
We
that 1,100 the 1,100 folks that don't have a high school diploma concern me. And I think this came up, Commissioner, correct me if I'm wrong, this came up in the commissioners meeting as well. And I should have done my homework before I came back. But one of the things that may concern me is how wages are dispersed, right? Like you might have a good median household income, but what does that look like? How far is the spread and how many people are on that higher end versus the more people that are on that lower end? And what can we do to get more people into better paying jobs?
What is that number?
I don't know. That's what I said. I should have done my homework, but I'll get that for you and I'll send it.
Lisa, on page 3,
Because I don't know the answer and we should.
on this third page, just some overview numbers. You have the median household income of 77,000. Do you know the median?
That's high. I mean, that really is high.
Yeah. Do you know the
compared
median?
to other counties?
Do you know the median wage for single earner? Or how that balances
Not
out?
offhand,
Yeah,
but
can we get that?
yeah. Mhm.
This is combined. 77.
It's the,
Household.
that's the county. Yeah.
Household.
But that's a household average.
Yes, median household income,
Yes,
but
yeah.
look, it's like 20-some thousand higher than some of the other counties.
It's the median though. It's not the,
Yeah,
not the
but
average. It's
but
the median.
I'm comparing the
Yeah,
median.
okay.
It's higher.
Does that
But
mean we have,
but that's why it's conflicting and like I need to dig into that a little deeper.
yeah, does that mean we have more 2-earner households or does that
You
mean
could
we
You
have?
could have a much wider range
Right.
of income.
Sure.
Says 12,755.
So,
Do you-
so,
Go ahead.
well, so one of the things that I always say to communities, and I realized this after about 2 years into the job, workforce development isn't something that I can just bring to you, right? We have resources that I can bring to you, but the strategy and what we focus on has to come from within the county, right? And we need employers at the table. We need to understand what the economic development goals are, right? The training that's needed. The schools have to be at the table, so that as a community, we build strategies that work for you. What works here isn't necessarily going to work in, I mean, we spend a lot of time in Gary, Indiana with very specific strategies. They have to be different. Dee Dee can talk about some, if you're ready for her, she can talk about
Just
some of
one
the
more
ways.
question.
Yeah.
I got one more after Gary.
So the total population without a high school diploma at 6.5%, the residents in poverty at 6.9%. Do you often see those numbers correlate like that?
Not so closely.
Okay. Would they be?
Not so closely. But well, okay, so when I think about some of my urban communities, I mean, obviously they're in double digits, right? For both poverty
both,
and
yes.
Education attainment, right?
Okay.
But they're not as close. Like you're almost
Yeah.
exact. That's not typical.
Okay. Normally you would see the poverty would be higher than the education or inverse.
The higher the poverty, the much greater the percentage of people without high school diplomas or college.
Okay.
On this page right here, it's the residents of Jasper County, Indiana, where they work. So is that, and it has commuters. Is that commuters from the county? Like there's 9,000 that work in the county?
And where they go. Yeah. So residents of Jasper County are commuting to what? Well, you've got a high number that are staying right within Jasper, but you've got about 2,000 that are heading into Lake County.
Okay.
All right.
So that's from two. Okay.
Yes.
Is that?
And those migration patterns, they matter a lot, right?
I mean, is there a correlation between not enough jobs in the county and why people are going outside the county to work? I mean, is there a correlation there with what's going on inside a particular county with the level of industry, manufacturing, jobs availability?
It could. So I have a woman, Denise Wright, on my team that spends her days providing data, right? Because you ask one question, like the data is directional. So you keep asking questions to dig deeper into what that story is actually telling you. And we have a team that helps you as a county leader understand what's happening. And then therefore, identify the best strategies.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll use Michigan City as an example. They really thought they had a childcare, an issue with the number of seats, but it wasn't that. I mean, that's what the data showed. But when you dug in to better understand that, what they had was a childcare professional issue. So they had lots of seats for kids, but they didn't have enough professionals to provide the quality care. So it's directional, but you dig in.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll take you as far down a rabbit hole as you want to go. We've gone into a number of communities and had cross-sector convenings with employers, educators, the community foundations at the table. Who am I missing, Dee Dee? All sectors share data like this. And I mean, sometimes we're looking at data. You can tell us what's actually happening. One of the, I don't think the stat is here in this report, but I remember going to Pulaski County and folks knew that there was a substance issue, but they were absolutely stunned by the percentage and the number of opioid prescriptions that were accounted for in the county. Like that was a very alarming statistic to them. So anecdotally they knew, but then they really knew. And I mean, I always try to ground in data, right? That's a starting point for the conversation. And then it leads us into better strategies. Dee Dee, want to say a few things? We've got some good stuff. Oh, I think I forgot to mention the city as an employer. We've got some interesting partnerships. In fact, I think Jason, isn't Dee Dee coming out to
Yes, she is.
talk to you tomorrow about some fun stuff? So
Yep.
Dee Dee, maybe share that.
Good evening. So my name is Dee Dee White and I serve as Director of Business and Talent Strategy for the Center of Workforce Innovations, also through the Work One system. And my team, just in short, is responsible for attracting, training, and retaining talent. And so what that means is that we are trying to attract folks through the community, through the folks that come through our workforce system or our Work One system, and we are training them to attain the jobs that you have here in your community. We're also training talent, and that's either through the folks that come through our doors or it is incumbent worker training. So we'll come into your business and we will help develop a strategy for training your folks. So we'll talk to different training providers, and sometimes we even have the grant funding to cover the training that we do in business. So a couple of examples that I have of the training that we've done just recently, or some of the work and learn opportunities. So we'll do on-the-job training, we'll do apprenticeships, internships. That's a really hot one right now, right? With the high school pathways, the new high school pathway requirements, getting the kids into the workplace so that they can get those work experiences. But a couple of things that I wanted to highlight this evening are some of the services that we've been able to provide right here in Jasper County. And the city of Rensselaer was one. We've been able to fund a rural water apprentice for the city. Alliance Bank has an intern or had an intern actually. And you could see the dollar amounts next to these. I don't know what page we're on, but other training investments, we did Spanish for supervisors for Balsta Group Farms. And again, City of Rensselaer, we were able to do 5 Class B CDL trainees totaling $18,000. So that's a savings for the city that they wouldn't have had otherwise without our help. A couple on here that I don't have because they came through after we did this slide deck. We're currently working with Donaldson. We've done leadership training with them. We just finished the first cohort. They're getting ready to launch a second cohort because it was so good. And we also were able to give them just north of $10,000 for forklift training for their employees. So if you can kind of imagine some of the things that are going on in your community and some of the maybe some of those empty seats that your employers have, raise a hand, get them in touch with us and see what we can do, whether it's, train their staff, work with, a talent pipeline. But we're here to help. We're here to partner. And the whole goal of our business services department is to make businesses whole. Any questions?
We are the fiscal body of the county. And so if there was an area that we could invest, either through you or through Lisa, what would that be? Where would be the best use of funding from the county to develop workforce within the county? I know, we support the economic development and this and that, but through
Yep.
you, what's your opinion?
So, adult education funding has been cut pretty dramatically, and we're worried about it in the future. That doesn't actually cost a lot. I think our average cost per student was like, the way we do it is like $1,200 per student. I mean, that is worth every penny in terms of the return on the investment. We are launching a boot camp. It's called Fast Track to Top Jobs Boot Camp. We're not ready to start here, but would be. Every single, and I do mean every single employer that we talk to is most concerned about those work ethic, soft skill, employability skills. Many employers say that you bring me somebody that has the will to work, the work ethic, bring them to my doorstep and we will train them on the technical skills into the job. So we're launching this boot camp in response to that. It's going to be a very intensive 4-week, 4-day-a-week, 4-hour-a-day boot camp where they instruct, there's a lot of interactions, their feet are held fire, right? They can't show up late. It's a 4-week cycle. They might get one grace, right? But we ensure they understand the requirements going into it. If they're late, they're out, right? And I get that life happens. But this is what employers need. They need people to understand that they got to show up every day. They can enter back in the next cycle of that cohort because we want people to succeed. But they've got to have a tough love situation. That may be something that could be a benefit. I'm in conversations, right now about some of the programming over at St. Joe. We want to bring some of this integrated education training to some of the work that they're doing, or the adult education to that piece. So, those are some specific examples that I know would have appeal, to folks. But I guess my preference would be to convene employers to better understand exactly what their hiring needs are. We have relationships with a lot of employers, but really do a deep dive needs analysis and identify what the gaps are and create programming that meets that need. It has to start and end with the employer. We can train people all day long, but if there are no jobs at the end of it, we've wasted their time and taxpayer resources. I would start with a needs analysis to really understand your top employer needs. I'm not trying to kick the answer down the, the can down the road. It just has to be an informed strategy to work best.
This is some really good data. I appreciate you bringing it out this evening.
really good.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Edie. I didn't mean to kick you off the podium there.
yeah. I'm surprised she didn't go out the back door. If you're interested in other specific data, please, I mean, there's so much that we can drill down into, and we're happy to do that. We want to be an asset to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Be in touch.
Lisa. Thanks, Dee.
Okay. Do we have anything from any of the council members for tonight? Gotten through the list of stuff? Nothing? Public comments in person, via Zoom? If not, our next meeting is April 21st, 6 o'clock, right here. Anything else? So to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Ryan moved.
Second.
Jason seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Still,
Meeting adjourned.
still 7:30. You pushed it.
I need some.
Okay, I'll write it down.
Ryan. If you had to do that, how many do after that code?